between the kids and driving, like I'm all about Audible. So
Same.
it's on Audible. I
Same.
love that.
No, we're busy women. We need audiobooks. I'm sorry. There's a lot to get done.
Let's talk Tales. The goal of this next Tales with Taylor guest is to educate business owners to create personalized marketing strategies that work for them, rather than forcing them into one-size-fits-all overpriced solutions. It's Jaryn Dominique of Deviant Digital Services. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Taylor. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. I have to say, I absolutely love your name, Deviant Digital Services. I used to have a kitty that was named Devious.
Oh, really? Was he the best? Oh, he or she? Was he the best kitty ever?
He was very devious. You know, I learned a lesson about what you name something, because my goodness, he'd be so cute and then just like knock something over. But he was always there for me, and he was the best family cat until Dash. I will shout out to Dash. You're being a good family cat now too. So tell me the tale that brought you to that name of Deviant Digital Services.
Sure. Okay. It's kind of long-winded, so bear with me. So one, I knew that I wanted the abbreviation DDS because one of my first digital marketing jobs was actually for a dentist.
I was about to say, I was like, were you a dentist? You have beautiful teeth.
Oh,
so
thank you.
it's
Thank
very
you so
possible.
Yeah. And it's just, I knew that dentist took over that acronym. So I was like, okay, no other brand is going to get in there. So I'll be able to stand out. Okay. So then obviously everyone goes to their name first, right? Dominique Digital Services, but I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm drawn to words that have changed meaning over time. So for example, I run a book club called Virago Book Club, because Virago used to mean strong woman, but now it means a woman who's really loud and annoying. So I wanted to take that back. Same with deviant. Deviant used to mean someone who goes their own way, who thinks for themselves, who forges their own path. But over time, it took on negative connotations, you know, that someone is, I don't know, being a little sinister and doing bad things. So I wanted to take that back. So Deviant Digital Services for people who want to go their own way and basically build a marketing strategy that breaks the mold and fits their needs specifically.
Exactly. Not that one size fits all. Because I do feel like there's a lot of marketers who just say like, you have to do this, you have to do that, because that's what everyone does. But not everyone is, you know, having the same target audience. Not everyone's selling the same product or even the same service. So So what would you say, you know, in generalities, are some of the key things that people should focus on? Like some people I know say, oh, I don't really need a website. You know?
Okay, first of all, everyone needs a website. I don't care who you are, you need a website. It's the number one way people are going to find you. So I've talked to plenty of people where they're like, oh, I went to go find this business, but they didn't have a website. So I wrote them off. So you need a website.
You need a website.
Yes. And then you need to actually get that website found. You'd be surprised how many people are like, I put up a website. Why don't I have 100 visitors? What's going on? So setting up your Google accounts is a way to get that going, making sure that your website's being indexed and that it's being discovered so it can actually start ranking for keywords. So that's a type of SEO strategy, so search engine optimization. So I'd say those are the basics you got to start off with right there. And then we can obviously branch off to lots of different strategies.
So tell me the tale that got you first interested in doing this, because it's a very technical job that you're doing. And so not everyone loves to be on a computer and let alone look at data. You know? So tell me the tale that kind of got you there.
Yeah. So I actually love writing, and that's what I went to school for, is for journalism. And then all of my professors were like, get out. Everything's going digital. Print is dying. You can't do this. So, you know, that was really uplifting in college.
Yeah. Trust me, as someone who originally went as a journalism major. Yeah, no, I understand.
Exactly.
Hence now we're on video.
Yes. Here we are in the digital realm.
Yes.
And so then I got out of school. I ended up, you know, just working as a receptionist, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, since all my professors are like, there's no future. I ended up working up in management, and I was like, no, this isn't for me. You know, HR, like I love helping people, but I want to do something that harks back to my original passion. Right. And so then I ended up getting a job for a dentist basically and doing dental digital marketing. And I honestly fell in love with it. I learned about SEO and how the algorithms work and how what you write and put on your website helps you be found. I started learning about a lot of SEO strategies. Then I ended up working my way up through a bunch of different agencies and learning about digital ads and social media and how your writing could be found through those platforms. And
so tell me the tale of, you know, you making a decision to go for business for yourself, because that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's actually the story that I like more, honestly. So I was in digital marketing. I've been doing this for over 12 years now. And I was, like I said, working for big agencies. I had actually worked my way up for a nationwide agency, and I was their director of digital marketing.
Wow.
And that was going well. And I probably could have stayed there for a really long time. But then a historic year happened that we all lived through called 2020 and the pandemic. And every one of our clients canceled all of their traditional marketing. So billboards, commercials, radio, everything. And they moved it all to digital. And I obviously had a team, but I always tell everyone that was the year I learned what I was truly capable of.
Nice.
You know, you had to step up and how you helped all those people. And so I was like, okay, if I can do this, I should be doing it for myself. Right. That was my dream, was honestly to work by my husband's side and just the two of us helping people, traveling, visiting our clients, and just helping others, right? And so I started my business that year.
In 2020?
In 2020.
You started your business during the pandemic.
I started my business during the pandemic.
That's intense.
Honestly, it was good timing. If anything, as soon as I started, it was like, this is what I was always supposed to be doing.
That is so cool. Because, you know, that's a time where most people were just, you know, just decorating their houses and upgrading their lawn. And you're like digging deep and starting a business of all things. Yeah. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, it was definitely the right decision. I won't look back. I ended up building a team based off of my peers I'd made throughout like my career, and they completely supported it. They were like, heck yes, we believe in you. And my husband now works with me full time as well. And it's just lovely. It's been wonderful.
So as someone who also has a husband that works with them, I know a lot of people go, oh, how can you do it? So what would be a tale or a tip you would give someone who did want to work with their spouse? You know, how do you successfully do it?
Yeah, you got to be able to talk. The communication's key. You got to be able to dig in when things get rough, you know, and you're going to have disagreements. You got to be willing to be brave with each other and call each other out, be willing to learn. And honestly, like if you have a good relationship going into it, which hopefully you are, if you're thinking you're going to have a business, yeah, it's just another thing to share. It's another thing to grow, kind of like raising children or having a home. You know, it's just another thing to broaden your relationship.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what are the role differences? Like, do you do the same thing within the business, or do you do one set of, you know, roles and he does another, or how does that work?
No, good question. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm the lead digital strategist. I do everything. And then I've got my team. He came from a completely different industry. So he just was our CFO at first, you know, doing the invoicing, making sure the books were good. But now that he's in it full time, he's been learning digital marketing, and he actually has a lot of strength in content marketing. So he's actually become a really good blogger, really good email strategies. And it's been awesome watching him learn.
That is very cool. You know, and it's good though, I think at first to like have him come from a completely different space. I know that for us, that's been the biggest benefit, is that my weaknesses are his strengths and vice versa. You know, if we always wanted to do the same thing all the time, then nothing else would get done.
Exactly.
So, that is excellent. So tell me a tale of perhaps a case study or a story of someone whom you helped with their, you know, what are some differences, or what are some things that you've actually done for people?
Yeah. So it always depends, right? I think you touched on it earlier. Every agency tends to be like, oh, you need to fit in this package and do these services. And they're always overpriced because they're super bloated agencies. I do have packages only for the people that asked for them. But mostly I'm like, let's just start from the ground. Let's see where you're being found now, where you're succeeding now. And then let's find our areas of opportunity so we can grow off that. So sometimes some people have just an SEO strategy, but some people just do digital ads. Some people just want social media. And then honestly, I've also had, so one story that came to mind when you asked, I've had people come to me that I actually wasn't able to help them. So for example, someone from Canada approached me and I realized some of my SEO tools didn't work out of the country.
Oh.
And so then I'm feeling bad because he was excited.
That's insane. It's the World Wide Web. Shouldn't worldly everything work?
But the servers are different in each country. And so they tend to have different endings to their URLs. It is different in each country. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he came to me. He was really excited. He wanted to get started. He wanted his chiropractic office to be found. And I had to tell him, no, actually, I can't help you. Obviously, I'm not going to bill you for any of time. I really apologize. I put together a whole plan for him so he could take that to someone in his country to help. And I'm thinking, that's it. This is going to be my first negative review. Right? I failed. He left me the most amazing positive review saying she's going to go above and beyond to help you. Even if she can't actually get money from you and do your services, awesome. She's going to make sure you're set up for success. And that showed me I was on the right path of just having the people's best interest and not just my best interest. You know?
Definitely. Come on, they were Canadian. Of course, they're going to say something nice.
True. They're the nicest people in the world. You're right.
No, but that's excellent. And that is a testament to, you know, really show that you care, that you really are solution based versus, you know, just trying to get a paycheck. And that's huge.
Exactly. I'm not here to convince anyone to do something that doesn't work for them. I'm going to tell them straight up, this is what you should do. This is your budget though. Then here are tools you can do for yourself, or you can work with me, or you can go find someone else that you feel comfortable with. It does need to be a partnership. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything. And I think with business too, you do need to, you know, stay in your corner of genius, or as one of my clients, Vanessa Shaw, will say, your center of genius. And then you need to, you know, find the other people who are just going to help you get what you need done. Because you shouldn't necessarily be an expert in everything, you know?
Exactly.
No one can truly be a Jack or a Jackie of all trades.
And we should always be learning. Like the day that we look and we say, oh, I'm done learning and I'm the expert and no one knows more than me. Well, now you failed, right? Yeah. We have to keep learning and keep trying and admit when we're not the only expert in the room, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So what's your favorite animal with a tail? It's Tales with Taylor, so sometimes I like to get a little punny with the questions.
I love it. I mean, it's dogs and cats. I've had dogs my whole life and cats. And yeah, most of our pack is gone now, but we still have one cat named Derp. And,
Derp?
Yeah, she's the cross-eyed kitty.
That's so cute. That's so cute. I am definitely a crazy cat lady at heart. So
nice.
Yes, I love cats.
Wait, how many cats?
So I said crazy cat lady at heart, and I do have a husband, so that's why there's only two. But if Eric and I were together, if we were still just partners and I had my own home, oh man, there would have been way more cats than that. You know, whenever I see a stray cat in the street, I always see if I can befriend them.
I know. Whenever I see a stray dog, I'm like, we gotta rescue it. And he's like, you can't save all the dogs. I'm like, just one.
We can though. You can though. So that is very cool. So for fun, you have a book club. What made you decide to start a book club?
I love books. I love stories. I honestly, writing is one of my pastimes as well. I want to actually publish a book eventually. And honestly, I think stories are what shape society. I think it's a really important art form for humanity. So I started the Virago Book Club, though men are welcome too. It's not just for women. Like, men are welcome. Just deal with a lot of women topics. And at first, you know, it was just like, oh, this is just going to be a fun thing I'm going to do with my friends and family. But then strangers started joining it because you can find it online. It's nationwide. And then honestly, it didn't even become about me or my family anymore. It's just about the stories, just getting it out there, inspiring people, you know, giving them a new way to look at things. I want to put those stories out there for everyone else.
So what's an example of a book that you've done through the book club? You know, tell me a little synopsis of one of your favorite tales you've read.
Oh God, so many. I love so many books. I read like a book a week. Okay. Let's see. Okay. One that we read this year was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Have you heard of that one?
No.
All right. It's a fiction. It's one of those long, sprawling books where you're following this woman who never dies. And she is forgotten basically anytime someone leaves a room. Okay. So, but she lives forever, but no one can say her name. No one can remember her. And so like, let's say we were in a room together, but then you left to go get coffee. If you came back, you'd be shocked to see me here. And so that's kind of her curse. And then she like has this toxic relationship with the devil who gave her the curse. So there's this will they, won't they toxic relationship too. And, you know, it's also got some historical fiction because she was originally in the 12th century. And yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those silly historical fiction fantasy books that we all found very inspiring.
Interesting. That actually sounds like one I'd get my dad. I think he'd actually really, no, I'm not even kidding. I think he'd actually really enjoy that. That's interesting. What was the title of that one?
Okay. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a million book recommendations. I probably could talk to you about books forever.
Is it only fiction or do you do nonfiction as well?
Nonfiction every other month, fiction every other month. So that way we have to mix it up. We can't just get lost in a cycle of the same books over and over.
Okay. So what would be a nonfiction one that really stuck out to you?
Educated is one of my favorite nonfictions we ever read, by Tara Westover, I want to say her name is.
Okay.
And she basically grew up isolated in a family, kind of an abusive household, very, very religious, and she was homeschooled. So taught like not learned to read or anything like that. And then she ends up going to school, like I want to say in Cambridge. And she just talks about coming into her own and being educated and learning about history. And it's a very powerful, impactful book.
Wow. Educated.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Highly recommend. Yeah.
Excellent. So you love books. Do you watch movies at all? Is there a favorite movie of yours?
I do love movies. I'm a big movie buff. Unfortunately, I'm not getting a lot of time to watch movies lately, you know, with the business and everything. Oh gosh, what are some of my favorite movies? Okay, well, it's a throwback. One of the best movies I watched for the first time this year, it's an older one, I just saw Event Horizon for the first time.
I haven't even seen Event Horizon, so don't worry.
All right. It's from the 90s, I want to say. But the guy that played Morpheus is in it.
Okay.
And then the lead guy from Jurassic Park is in it. I know, I'm failing at remembering their name. Sorry. Yeah, and it's just it's a horror sci-fi. And honestly, I think it was scarier than Alien. I thought it was really, really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Horror sci-fi. All right. Yeah, I typically don't do the sci-fi so much. I think my favorite sci-fi movie is probably District 9, just because I felt like it was so accurate of how we would treat aliens.
I know. I remember the marketing for that one. I got emotional watching that movie.
Yeah. That one. Yeah. That was like, okay, that's my kind of sci-fi movie, a realistic sci-fi.
Wait, what about you though? Books, movie?
So books, I'm a very nonfiction person.
Nice.
I want to learn. The one that I absolutely love and recommend to anyone who's trying to have a business and build a team, Creativity Inc. by Ed Catmull. Ooh. So he was the creator of Pixar.
Oh, okay,
and
cool.
so like who doesn't love Pixar?
Yeah, Pixar's amazing.
Exactly. And so I absolutely love that. And then in terms of movies, like Dead Poet Society.
Yeah.
It's just,
classic.
Carpe Diem.
Yeah, you're just going for the gut punches right there.
I know, but I know. I promise I do have fun too. But,
I mean, sometimes it's fun to sob a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Children of Men is one that always sticks out to me too. Just,
that's a good one.
Cinematically how it was filmed and things. And so.
Nice.
Yeah.
We got to get together and watch a movie sometime. You got to join book club.
I apparently need to join book club. But, I am a little busy. My book club is like Dr. Seuss to the kids right now. So.
It's all right. That's why, like I said, I stopped getting stressed about people that couldn't make it every month. It's definitely a low pressure. The idea is that, hey, here's some book ideas for you to sprinkle into your life.
I love that. Because books are so powerful, and just the stories and storytelling is so powerful.
Exactly.
And, I think it's great that you do that blend of fiction and nonfiction, because for myself, like I'll watch a show with my husband, we'll watch a fiction show, because you got to have that just like relaxation and fun times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
excellent.
of course you like stories. Tales with Taylor. You
Tales
wanted to go over Tales.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And so pigtail or ponytail?
So probably ponytail. I'm notorious for my power ponytail for sure, though I'm sure my hairline doesn't like it.
Hey, that's great. Yeah. So for me, I feel like, once you're like an adult, it's kind of hard to do pigtails unless it's like Halloween and you're just like a schoolgirl costume. But
or certain concerts, it really goes with a certain outfit.
Concerts.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. When I was in third grade, I was a little teeny bopper and I thought I was Baby Spice. So I wore my hair in pigtails all of third grade.
I believe it. I can see this.
Right. Oh, in the neighborhood, we practiced dances, we put on performances, we were all about it. We used to sell our Halloween candy for some money.
Heck yes. I love it. You were hustling even back then.
From the start. And truly, I definitely had like an entrepreneurial bug from the get-go. I was, I grew up back east. So as soon as those leaves were falling, I saw money falling because I knew I was going to be able to rake them, the snow, having yard sales. And so when did you feel like you had an entrepreneurial bug? Was it, 2020 and just having to grind a little more? Was there a little bit of a bug beforehand? When do you really feel like you had that entrepreneurial bug?
It was in the back of my mind for years. It really was. It was always, this idea that floated. And he and I would talk about it, and be like, oh, maybe one day we'll have that freedom, But, it's easy to put your dreams on the back burner. It's easy to be afraid, right? And just be like, no, you just want this steady consistency. I think 2020 is the reason that showed me there is no such thing as consistency, right? Look at how many people were laid off. Mm-hmm. Look at how many people weren't safe. And it just made me braver to want to gamble on myself and gamble on us, Yeah. And honestly, as soon as I started, it was like, this is what I was always supposed to do. I was always the person that my parents were like, why do you choose the hard ways? Because I always wanted to do it.
Are you the youngest in the family?
No, I'm the oldest. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't know if there's maybe a dynamic there.
It's just me forging my path and thinking, my way is the best way. That's what that was.
Okay. Awesome. What's your astrology sign?
Aquarius.
Okay, Aquarius. Okay, there we go. I'm like, there's something here. There's a connection.
Oh gosh, she just I don't know. She just got something about me.
Yeah, no, I felt it. Well, because I'm Aquarius.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
This makes sense.
So yeah, no, I was
Here
like,
we are.
Yeah, that's what I was like, wait. So I was like, are we the youngest? Because I'm the youngest, and my husband's the youngest, and he's also an Aquarius. So we're both Aquarius, both the youngest, both the black sheep. And so
I love seeing next we can get into our Myers-Briggs and you can tell me what your rising sign is, everything.
The whole thing. There's so many different, personality assessments. So, what's a tale that you wish you would have told your younger self? And it could be either like your child self or even just, pre-2020 self.
I know exactly which one. Okay. I was working at one of the biggest agencies I worked for that I am grateful for. I definitely helped build my career. I learned so much there. That's when my first connections with Google were established. But it wasn't the last agency I worked with. It was the second to last. And, there's a lot of toxicity there, a lot of masculinity, a lot of stepping around, some toxic sexist behavior. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I was dealing with a project and I was complaining to some of my managers saying something like, I sent this email, no one read it. And I gave these updates and no one read it. And then you all are like hassling me and like bearing down on me about this project not going, just basically saying I needed more from you guys, trying to give feedback. And one of the head up guys up there, he just went off about like how self-absorbed I am and how dare I not be grateful, and just like how I need to be aware that this is not the Jaryn show. I need to get some humility. This is not the Jaryn show. Well, here we are. And I wish that I'd been able to take myself aside, at that time and been like, it is the Jaryn show.
Yeah. It's your life.
You're right. You know what? And that guy, he's just trying to push you down because he didn't like the mirror you held up to him. Mm. And honestly, I daydream all the time of what I've built up now and how far I've come and the confident woman I've become and the connections I've been able to make on my terms. And I just want to find that man and be like, are you enjoying the Jaryn show? Because it's going well for me.
Hell yeah. Cheers to that. That is awesome. That is awesome.
Thanks.
Yes. Because there's like, people, I think as a child, you're told you're selfish. You're saying, oh, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. And then as adults, it's hard for us to define what is truly selfish. Mm-hmm. And I think so many times then we fall into those like, oh, I guess it isn't my show. Mm-hmm. But are you living your life or are you living someone else's life? And yeah.
Don't speak up because you're hurting someone else's feelings. Well, maybe it's hurting me by not speaking up and saying my truth, Mm-hmm. Yeah, learned a lot. I wish that I could have told the younger me to believe in myself and not be stepped on, but you also had to go through it, right?
I think so. And it's just an opportunity that now you've identified that perhaps, by mentorships or, just giving back. I know through an organization we're both part of, NABO, National Association of Women Business Owners. Sometimes we have the younger generations that come through, and now you have the opportunity of telling people like, no, you stick up for yourself and live your own life. So, yeah.
Say what you need. Stand up for what you believe in. Mm-hmm. You are right. There are people that will be grateful you stood up for yourself and for them.
Definitely. Yeah. And so for someone, who has now a successful business, mm-hmm. what would you say to someone who's looking to start their business or, some of the things that you should do in order to reach success?
To believe in themselves, for sure. One of my favorite affirmations is fear is just a feeling. It cannot stop me from achieving my goals. Mm. So just acknowledge that's an emotion, but also be prepared to work. Like, honestly, I was a workaholic before I took on a business, and now it's to a whole new level. It makes me laugh when people say they want to start a business and then, sell it in 5 years. It's like, that's cute. Right. You don't want to start a business then. You want a quick buck. That's what you want.
Yeah. Or you say, they say they want to be a business owner and you go, okay, what do you want to do? And you're like, it's something. I just want to have this. Yes.
No, like find a career, find an expertise, mm-hmm. like really double down and work hard in it. Like what mm-hmm. you've done, and then build from there and still work hard, but also now you're believing in yourself and you're taking the gamble on yourself.
Yeah. And I think, similar stories, what I heard is that you said you were able to build a team from colleagues that you'd already worked with.
Yeah.
I know for myself, one of my guests, Kevin Maxwell, that I had on here, he was one of my first productions that I had already worked with when I was at a different studio and a job. We already had LinkedIn connections. We were already connected.
Yeah.
And then when he reached out and I was like, oh, well, I'm actually doing this on my own, mm-hmm. And so you got to build connections. Mm-hmm. You got to meet people, whether it is in a career, in a business, like it sounds like you did at first with mm-hmm. building your team, or is it just, networking and getting to know each other and LinkedIn, I definitely love LinkedIn.
Yeah.
LinkedIn's definitely my number one platform that I recommend for people starting a business.
Oh, me too. For B2B, absolutely. Yeah. It's a huge platform that everyone should be on, especially from a B2B standpoint.
And beyond like Google and indexing on Google, like what are some of the other platforms that you find are performing the best for you or that you really like to recommend to your clients for one reason or another?
Sure. So Meta is huge. So Meta is actually Facebook and Instagram. Everyone likes to think Threads. And Threads. Yeah.
And probably something else by the time this airs.
WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp's a part of it as well. Yeah, but I like Meta. I mean, a lot of people, they think that they're separate platforms, and then they're like, oh, I don't care about Facebook. Only older demographics on Facebook. Instagram's the young ones. That's the same thing. It's Meta. You want to be on Meta. They've got some of the cheapest ads that you can run, some of the best targeting you can run for advertising. And honestly, it's a great place to build a community, to test organic content. So I love Meta. TikTok is quickly growing as well. That's another one that's kind of an uncharted territory. So it's the one I'm excited about because, again, cheap, and you can get some really good targets based off of who they follow. So I really like TikTok. I'm sure you do too from the video standpoint.
My team loves TikTok. I like what TikTok can do. I am not a TikToker.
All right.
No, this body, I hope, looks young, but I'm old in my soul. And so, no, so I do not, TikTok. I did not tweet. I got a Facebook when I moved because I wanted to see some people. I used to think it was just for pedophiles. So
super fair. It's okay. Reminding me of my mother-in-law a little bit right there, but it was still very cute.
But it's still needed. No. But truth be told, like for me personally, as like a personal use, I love LinkedIn. I like reading articles, and I love Pinterest, but I know the value. And I think that's where people who are maybe a little older minded like me, or maybe who just are older. I know I have one client who's like super resistant against social media. And it's like, honey, like this is the world we're in now. Like I get it. I love picking up the phone too and calling someone, but you still got to be online and show yourself online. So no, I respect more so the abilities that you can market yourself online. You know, before people used to have $10,000 plus budgets to advertise on radio and TV.
Yep.
Now we're in a day and age where you can pick up your phone, record a little something, put it online, and it could potentially go viral and meet thousands. So no, there's the value of social media is there.
Yep, it's amazing. And people don't realize too, the established ones, the social signals or SEO signals that they have, because they're an authoritative social platform. So yeah, maybe you hate social media and you don't want to be on it, but you should definitely have a profile and be posting on it every once in a while and linking back to your website.
And then hire Gen Zers to post for you.
Yeah, exactly. Or Deviant Digital Services.
Or even better. Yes.
No, but it ends up lifting up your brand. So that's fine if you don't like it, but other people like it. Your audience is there, and it's about them, not you.
It is. And I think that's something that people really need to just get off their high horse about. You know, I don't know if you found it, but some people are just so stubborn.
I know. Yeah, people think that they know the way, but then they ask for help, but then they think they know the way. That's why I say I never want to work with someone unless they know they want marketing. I don't want to convince anyone. I'm not here to argue with you. If you know you want marketing, then let's make a partnership, you know?
Right. And then just go with your guidance and let your team post. And then you don't even have to worry about going on the platforms. I know people always tell me like, oh, you're so busy. You're always on all these social platforms. And I'm like, thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you. Thank you, team.
Same for me. So like, thanks, team.
Right.
Yeah. People are like, oh my gosh, Jaryn does so much. It's like, nope, takes a team, guys. Takes a team.
Takes a team and processes too. That's another thing. And I think that's something that, even myself, we started business in 2014, learning to build your processes and having SOPs are so important as you're building a team.
Which congratulations on 10 years.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 10 plus years.
Yeah.
Cheers to that too.
Woohoo.
Yes. Yeah, step one is always 1 year. And then right when we hit the 1 year, I was like, okay, we got to get to 5. And then right when we got to 5, I was like, we got to get to 10. And now I'm like, we got to get to 15. So,
I'm on the doorstep of my 5. So I'm very excited.
Excellent. That's so great. No, it's a testament that you are, someone of integrity, that you really do what you say you're going to do, because that's the biggest thing. You had mentioned that you want to write your own book. So what's going to be the title of that tale?
Yeah, I'm working on the 4th draft right now, and it should be hitting the shelves any day now, so keep an eye out for it. It's going to be called The Onironaut and the Realm of Nightmares.
Okay, is it fiction?
It's fiction.
Okay.
It's fiction. It's like a sci-fi, fantasy, young adult fiction, but it deals with a lot of really serious themes, and hopefully people really like it. We'll see. It was my dream to publish a book, and I'm already thinking about a sequel and more books to follow. I was just
about to ask that, because I feel like I know a few authors, and some of those authors, they go into it knowing I want to build it out to be a series. So did you kind of go into it of saying I want to build it to be a series?
No, not at all. I was like, I just want the one. This is a story that's been building in my head since I was a kid, and along the way. And So I was like, yeah, I want to get the story out there. But then when I got in the weeds of the final chapters, you know, the finale, you know, the ending, the terribleness, I realized the characters could continue on, that there was more that could happen. And so I was like, oh no, this could be a second story. This even could be a third if I really wanted.
Lovely. That's excellent. Yeah. Or you can even pull like the whole like Ender's Game situation where then you like have it from the other point of view.
Yep.
You know,
mm-hmm.
So you can always do that. That's very cool. I love that. All right. So, well, you know, how did you like get started with writing a book? That's such a tall like order to take on.
I wanted to do it my whole life. Okay. It's my big dream. I pretty much, I'm like, yeah, I've achieved all the other goals, right? I found the love of my life. I'm traveling the world and seeing the world. I'm there for my family. I've got my business. Everything's going well. Write the book, you know?
There you go.
I started it in 2019. And then obviously the pandemic sparked a lot for me. So then a lot of work happened there. And then I gave 3 copies, one to each of my best friends who always wanted to read and help me. And then one to my husband who hates reading. And I was like, oh, I'll do the best. My 2 friends could not get through it. And my husband read it in less than a week. And he became my #1 fan, and he helped me edit it, and he's helped me bring it to life. And here we are. It's almost ready to go out there.
Sweet. Are you going to also make it like an Audible version too?
Yep. That's the plan. I'm planning to, I'm definitely one of those DIYers. So I'm planning to record it myself and self-publish and all of that.
You can put little sound effects in there and little music.
Yep.
Bring the drama up. I love it.
Yep.
It sounds really exciting. As
Big
someone who like between the kids and driving, like I'm all about Audible. So
Same.
it's on Audible. I love that.
No, we're busy women. We need audiobooks. I'm sorry. There's a lot to get done.
There's a lot to get done. You know, dishes, you know, multitasking is a real thing. It's possible with certain things.
We can be Wonder Woman with audiobooks.
Most definitely. Most definitely. That is awesome. And so you do for your business have a fabulous evaluation report.
Thank you.
Yes. Tell me, tell the audience, what is this report and how can people receive it and why should they sign up for this report?
Thank you. Yeah. So it's a free tool that anyone can use on my website. If you go to my website, it just literally says scan my site and it's right there. Mm-hmm. You'll get a free report within 24 hours, basically telling you where your business is being found currently and where your areas of opportunity are. It's based off of all my scanning tools. So basically the tools I use for SEO and for digital ads and social media management and reputation management. Obviously you still need that human touch. So I do offer complimentary consultations to review the report together. I'll actually base it against some of my other tools and be like, okay, yeah, it said you had a slow site speed, but I ran a couple extra tests. Looks like you were just going through a blip that day and you're actually good here, but we should focus on this. Or of course you can just use the free tool and take the report and then go to your marketing team and be like, why does it say that we're failing here? And just use it for your own tools. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah. And it's very, very thorough too. It's a very thorough report. And, I was even amazed to see like how many different types of search consoles there are. Like I thought like Google, Yahoo, maybe Bing, but there's so many, there's so many local search results. So what would you say are like the top places that you want to be found in?
Yeah. I mean, the #1 place you want to be found is Google. Mm-hmm. It accounts for 96% of searches worldwide. All the other platforms utilize their algorithm for their platforms. So if you're being found on Google, everyone else is finding you. Okay. That said, what you're referring to is actually called local SEO. So that's when all of these basically different directories out there have your business information as well. Because a lot of people are like, oh, as long as Google has me, that's it. It's like, no, actually the way the internet ecosystem works is you need all of these listings to also match. And what they don't realize is that there's 3 main aggregators, used to be 4, but then one of them bought the other out. 3 main aggregators that actually feed into the internet. And that's where everyone's name and business info and phone number and address is actually kept. So if you don't update the aggregators, which take special tools, and the listings down here, then you're basically not going to be found online.
That sounds like really difficult and expensive. Like, how can people even do this?
Yeah, so it used to be something you could do manually. That's actually what my first SEO job is just creating all this stuff and submitting it manually. But as you can imagine, a lot of fake information got submitted. So they just took that power away from the common person. And they were like, nope, you have to use special tools to submit your details. You have to pay special fees. So yeah, as a business owner, you could technically go buy those same tools if you wanted. But you got to know how they work and you got to make sure that you're not getting scammed and paying too much for them. So I do think it's better if you just hire a marketer. So then they have those tools. They already have those connections with Google, those connections with algorithms. So we don't have to wait in line as long. And we can actually just submit your details. Really, I said algorithms, aggregators. Submit your details to aggregators. So then your business info can be found.
Okay. So how much would someone need to be prepared to invest to work with you then?
So honestly, my pricing ranges from 170 to several thousand. And that's why I say I'm not here to force anyone to a package. It really comes down to let's see what you need and build what works with your budget and with your needs right now. So it really depends. So local SEO can be one of the cheaper ones, but then obviously digital ads or even email marketing can get a little bit more expensive. It really depends on what you need and where your business is at. I really don't want you to be spending a lot of money on marketing if it's not in your business budget.
Exactly. Would you say that every business though needs some sort of capacity of marketing?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think what do they say? A B2C business needs to be spending like 10% to 12% of their revenue. A B2B needs to be spending closer to 15, 16%. Like you need to be investing in marketing if you want to be found, but also make sure that you've got your foundation under you. So again, a website, and make sure the website's being indexed, please.
Please.
And your social media profiles, please build them.
Yes. And you can see how well they are stacking up by getting your free report. And
yes.
So that's excellent.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Excellent. So as we're coming close to a close here, when you think about the future of digital marketing, what tail do you think that's going to be? What do you think the future of digital marketing is?
The buzzword is AI, right? That's it. I always love talking about AI. Everyone acts like it's this brand new, amazing phenomenon. Google's algorithm has been AI the entire time. It was an early form of basically, artificial intelligence, I can speak. It was basically learning how people searched and what humans were looking for. So for me, I feel like I've been working with AI forever, and it's really exciting that everyone's suddenly talking about AI.
Yeah.
And then I think it's funny that people think AI is going to take over industries. Like, no, it's a tool. It's a tool that I utilize every day. My team utilizes every day. It can
built by humans.
Built by humans. So it's an imperfect tool, just like humans. But like if you use it to help build your marketing strategy, come up with new ideas, new suggestions, new ways to reach audiences, it actually can be really helpful. It's not the answer, but it's a tool.
So what are some of your favorite, tools that you've been using that other people could use?
I mean, everyone knows ChatGPT, of course. Gemini is the Google version of that. So I like Gemini as well. But there's also some good image generator AI tools to utilize. Opus Clips is one of the video AI ones that I love, that you submit a video and then just cut it all up. Those are some of my favorite. And then I've got a few that help me with SEO. So they actually help me write SEO optimizations and SEO content strategies. So they're really awesome.
That's excellent. Do you have any AI detecting software that you use to maybe detect if someone has used AI in something?
Yes.
Do you ever look into that when you're looking at people's websites? And my other additional question on top of that, does SEO maybe mark down overuse of AI by chance?
Amazing questions. So yes, you're allowing me to name drop one of my clients. Chimp Rewriter is an amazing new AI tool that we're helping get out there, that one can scan for AI, so if it was written by AI, but it actually is a rewriter to help rework it so that it doesn't look like AI wrote it, that more of a human wrote it. So it's an amazing tool. I highly recommend it. Yeah.
Sorry, it's okay. A little bit of a wardrobe issue back here.
They're just falling apart over there.
Just the set's falling.
Just amazing.
The world is falling. No.
So Chimp Rewriter is amazing for one, scanning for AI, but then also reworking it so then it seems like a human actually did it. And then no, Google and other algorithms are not dinging you for using AI yet. Everyone's preparing for it. But honestly, I like using AI because think about it. The bots are the ones crawling you. So if you use bots to help write the content, it's basically you're using robots to talk to robots. So then you can be found more by humans.
Excellent. So what are some other AI tools that we should be aware of, or other AI updates or things like that we should be aware of?
Yeah. So I think we've talked about there's ChatGPT. That's everyone's favorite one. There's Gemini. And then of course, there are image generating tools as well, tools that I use for SEO as well to help write my SEO optimizations. But another trend to be aware of too, as AI is changing search engines, responses when you're typing in searches, is actually voice responses. I mean, think about it. So many people are talking to their devices now.
That's true.
Instead of typing in, you know, plumber near me, they're like, Alexa, tell me who's the nearest plumber near me is, you know? So you have to be prepared for that as well. So that's different type of SEO optimizations on your site. That's different content that you would use AI to help create and get those long form content. Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't really think that there would be a different strategy for a voice search. I just assumed it was just a different way of putting in the content, but it would still translate the same way.
Yeah, it's called long form keywords, basically, or long tail keywords is another way to say it.
Okay.
So before, when we'd optimize, you know, like I said, it'd be really simple, like plumber, Texas, you know, or a videographer, Arizona. But now it's like, how can I find a videographer that's going to help my business? Like it needs to be an actual sentence and question that people are saying to their devices. And so that's a whole different way to optimize.
Excellent. Is blogging still important?
Blogging is so important. Honestly, what you want to make sure that your website's being updated on a regular basis. You don't want to be a stagnant, stale website, because then search engines are going to think that you're not updating things, you're not important. And the easiest way to update your site is a blog. You can do that once a week, 500 to 600 words, or twice a month, 1,200 words. So long form blogs.
Okay. So is that the difference then? If you're doing more frequent, they can be shorter and then, okay.
Yep.
That's
exactly.
a good tip. That's a really good tip.
Yeah, I highly recommend. It's honestly one of the biggest recommendations I have. A lot of people have all their basics underneath them, but then they're seeing their rankings suddenly plummeting these last few years because the algorithm changes, honestly, every month. It's ridiculous. And it's because they're not having enough keywords associated with them. So if you add a blog, especially, I'm a big fan of the long form blogs, honestly, just twice a month, 1,200 words each. It's great. But you can get those long tail keywords in there, a lot more keywords associated with you, and you're just updating twice a month. It's nice.
And that's something that your team would assist with as well, is blogging?
Absolutely. It's one of our top services, honestly.
Excellent. Yeah, because that can be time consuming.
Yes, it is. But remember, I like writing. So of course, blogging's got to be a part of it.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, this has been such a pleasure. So anyone who, you know, is not getting the results that they want, or maybe they're wondering why their website isn't indexing, first get that free report, because your free report is killer. It's so detailed. And I just love the time that you take to have that one-to-one conversation too, and really make sure, because even someone who is, you know, doing video marketing all the time, digital marketing, there's just nuances that even, you know, as a video marketer, I don't know. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. We've said it before, right? We can learn from each other. There were things about videography that you taught me as well, and about YouTube that you taught me as well. But yeah, we can learn from each other.
Yes, that's why we just got to build the team and just stick to your goals and reach for your dreams, whether they're writing a book, starting a business, or both. Why not?
Believe in yourself. We can do anything, right? You just got to be willing to work for it.
Most definitely. Cheers to that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for watching Tales with Taylor. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the Financial Potion YouTube channel to never miss an episode.